Madame la Présidente, dear Ursula, thank you, Monsieur le Président, dear Antonio. Be careful what you wish for. The location of the next summit, you mentioned the Arctic, where I'm from. Last time the European Union was at a summit in the Arctic, it was in Iqaluit in February, which was a G7 summit. I remember it vividly. And I remember this. It was the start of the sovereign debt crisis that affected a number of countries in the world. Okay? Think about the difference between then and now. Think about the institutional changes in Europe. Think about what's happening in the world now in terms of the threats financially, the threats geopolitically, and the stability and the resilience of the European Union. And the fact that the European Union is looking to build positively. We're honored that part of this building is with Canada. But it shows how much has changed and how much changed when you stay true to your values and stay focused. Alors, en ce qui concerne la valeur et le mandat du nouveau gouvernement canadien, nous avons un mandat fort qui consiste à diversifier, à renforcer nos partenariats internationaux, à trouver de nouveaux moyens de coopération et de connexion et accroître la sécurité, la prospérité et la stabilité chez nous et à l'étranger, sûrement y compris l'Ukraine. Pour remplir ce mandat, nous nous tenons d'abord à nos alliés les plus fiables, ceux qui partagent à nos valeurs de démocratie, de liberté et de souveraineté. So we're meeting now in that context in, as you just said, in hard times. We might say even a hinge moment of history, a world that's more dangerous and divided, a time where the rules-based international, the global order, rules-based global order is under threat, in a time when technological change is accelerating. And we really have two choices as a jurisdiction, as a country in this circumstance. We can nostalgically look back and long for the old order to somehow return, or we can build a new one with purpose and partnership. And as the most European of the non-European countries, Canada looks first to the European Union to build a better world. And that's what today is about. It's about building on our triple alignment of values, of interests, and of trust built over the years. And so today, this is a new era of cooperation. Our strategic Canada-EU or EU-Canada strategic partnership for the future will build a new and deeper relationship that brings us closer together, from defense to digital, from supply chains to security. We're launching comprehensive negotiations across multiple areas of cooperation and connection, trade, security, digital, climate. And this will make us both more resilient and more prosperous. In many respects, what we're committing to, from our perspective, Canada's perspective, is an ongoing process to an ever closer partnership that will bring our people closer together. Ensemble, le Canada et l'Union européenne pourront créer davantage des opportunités pour les industries et les travailleurs grâce à des échanges plus fréquents et à une meilleure harmonisation des réglementations. Nous pourrons être plus compétitifs grâce à des chaînes d'approvisionnement plus solides et plus stratégiques, et nous lutterons contre les changements climatiques et nous bâtirons des économies plus fortes grâce à une coopération renforcée de nos systèmes de tarification de carbone. We also, in this more dangerous and divided world, must be prepared to defend our people and our values, to secure our sovereignty and protect our allies. And to these ends, we will be in The Hague tomorrow with new commitments, significant commitments to our own and our mutual defense, meeting our NATO targets, further accelerating investments in coming years, but doing so, the EU and Canada, with this new security and defense partnership, which provides for this increased cooperation across the full spectrum of security. It will help us deliver on our new requirements for capabilities more rapidly and more effectively. Will help build our industries, secure our jurisdictions. So we are very pleased to be taking this important step towards participation in SAFE as part of Rearm Readiness Europe, bringing shared expertise, joint research and innovation. You know, at its core, final word, Europe was born as a project of peace. And Canada, over the years, over the decades, has served alongside European allies in pursuit of that peace. It's that, in those circumstances, from Vimy to Juno, that the world came to know the value of our strength. But now we're working alongside the European Union to combat climate change, to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, and to protect, amongst other things, academic and scientific freedoms. In these ways, the world knows the strength of our values. And this partnership, which is in defense and security and economics, really builds the strength, builds those strengths in both our jurisdictions and lives up to our values. So with that, thank you for the partnership. It's not over. As you say, we have dinner, and I know in Europe dinners are long and they involve a lot of work, at least when they're in this building. Other dinners in Europe are long and involve very little work, but this one will involve a lot of work, but so be it, because we have a lot of work to do. So with that, I'll hand back for questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. We will now open the floor for some questions here in the room. The journalists will have to reach out to the microphones on both sides. Please identify yourselves and the media you work for. Sir.
Good evening. Murray Brewster with CBC News. My question is for Prime Minister Carney. Prime Minister, if you could answer in both French and English, I'd appreciate it. This partnership that you've signed today, and recognizing that there is still some negotiation to do, Europe has its own defense industrial capacity challenges right now, just like Canada does. Can you explain how this particular partnership that you've signed today is going to get military equipment into the hands of the Canadian forces quickly, how it's going to expand Canada's defense industrial base, and how you're going to pay for it?
Yeah. So thank you very much for the question. The first thing, in terms of the challenges / opportunities that exist both for Europe and for Canada, is that we're both embarking on major investments in our defense capacities. We have some complementary